Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Today we're going to go into the workshop and we're going to be working on these tables. So my wife picked these up. She wanted a couple of end tables for the house and didn't want to buy some of that new cheap particle stuff that they sell now. So a lot of times we'll go with older furniture just because it's built so much better. I have two of them. Okay, one there, one there. And these are actually Hitchcock pieces. I believe they were built like in the 50s. Company dates back to like the early 1800s. They were a good piece of furniture, reasonably costing, well made. They were all like hand turned. So this one here, you can see it's got all the stencil work on it, and it's got the knobs. One thing about these is when he made these tables, he actually wrote a poem for his wife. Now this one just has the paper inside explaining what we have here. Okay, but if you look inside the other one, this one here, you will actually see a copy of the poem that he wrote for his wife. And that was dated March 1831 by Lambert Hitchcock. So you can see also on the back of these. Okay. This was painted in kind of an off-white, yellowish. They were in really good shape. My wife just had to, clean them up a little bit. But what I want to do is, if you notice on the tops, the varnish is wearing off. So I'm going to resand down these tops. You can see that it came with a stripe on here also, which I'm going to duplicate when I'm done. But I want to redo the tops of these. You can see this one also. All right, so we're going to sand these down. We're going to refinish them, make them nice again, put them in the living room, and we'll have a couple of nice end tables that I'm sure will last another 100 years. All right, so we're going to start by using the orbital sander. And I don't know, I may start with like 120 or 150 grit, but we'll get started on it and see how we do. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try cutting down some of this finish on the top. We're going to start with some 80 grit just to kind of cut through it, and then I'm going to work up to 120, 150. So let's try this and see how she cuts through it. Okay, that's gotten through pretty good. We just want to be careful of the edges that we don't round off the edges, so we're just going to keep it on the flat surface for now. So we'll get this sanded down and we'll move up to the next grade. Well, you can see that cut through there very nicely. Got a nice smooth finish now. Got all that varnish off of there. So we're gonna go over it a couple more times. I'm gonna use 120 then 150 just to make it nice and smooth, and then we can get to restaining it. Okay. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is sand down this side edge here. Okay, once we get these 4 edges sanded down, then we'll go over it with the next grade, which is 120. All right, we switched over to 120. Let's sand it down, get a little bit smoother. It's feeling good. So then we're going to bump up to the 150 next. Okay, now we'll do the final sand with 150. All right, she's looking great. Nice and smooth and flat. Okay, so we're going to do the other table like we did this one, and then we'll get her inside. A little cold out here, and we'll do some staining inside. All right, so let me get the other one done, and then we'll move on. Okay, so we have the tabletops all sanded down nice. Got them all prepped and ready. So we got some plastic on the floor here. We got some paper wrapped all around them just to keep any stain from getting on the woodwork. What we're going to use is this General Finishes water-based wood stain. We got the Sedona color. So we're going to put some of that on there. And once that's dry, then we'll put a couple of protective coats on there and should be good to go. So let's get some stain on it, see how she looks. So we're just going to be putting this on with an old rag, like a t-shirt rag. We'll put a little bit on here. And let's see how she looks. It's got a nice color to it. I like that. It's got a nice rich color to it. Try to keep it even so you don't see like any streak lines. Want to try to stay going with the grain. Usually do a little circles at first, but then as you're wiping it, go with the grain. It's going to look nice after with a couple of coats of urethane or shellac or something, depending on what we use. Grab another rag, just kind of wipe it off. Alright, I think that looks good. Okay, so here's what it looks like with the stain on it. And we're going to do the edges also. We'll let this dry for a while, and then we'll put some clear on it. And I think it's going to come out really nice. All right, so we have both tops stained now. I think they're looking really good. And we're going to let these dry for a while, and then we'll get some clear on them. I actually have to do one other thing too. There was a black stripe going around the perimeter, so I got to put another black stripe on there just so it kind of matches the original. So let this dry for a little bit, and then I'll do that. All right, so the black line that was on here was just like a pinstripe line that somebody probably did freehand with a brush. I don't have that type of equipment and probably not the skill set to put a nice straight line. So I'm going to mask it off, and we'll paint a thin line on there, and I think it'll look just as good. All right, so this is what we're starting with. Let me put some more tape on here. Okay, so you can see how I did this. I basically just taped it off. Now what I got to do is I got to cut out this line and this line so we can make a continuous line around there. But that'll give us that nice border for the black line. Okay, and so to do this, I'm just going to use a straight edge and a little X-Acto knife. And we'll just mark it right on the line. And then we can just peel out the piece that we just cut out. And then we'll just go around and finish that up. Okay, now that we got the outline all set, what we're going to do is we're going to take a foam brush, just a little bit of black paint on it, and we're just going to dab this. And we're just going to make that black stripe that went all the way around. Not going to put it on too thick. And then we'll cover this up after with the urethane or whatever kind of clear we're going to use on it. Okay, so I'm going to go around and put that black stripe down, and then we'll peel this tape off and see how she looks. Okay, now that we have the black stripe all done, let's carefully peel this tape off and see how she looks. It's looking good. Nice straight lines. This blue masking tape works really well. Oh yeah, it came out really nice. Alright, I'm going to finish peeling this off and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so I think that came out really good. It's got a nice black line just like it had when it was new. And then once we clear over that, that'll seal that in. And this thing will be looking good. Alright, we're going to let it dry for a while and then we'll do the sealer. Next step is we're going to be putting some polyurethane on there. This is going to be a water-based Varathane. This is a crystal clear satin finish. So we're going to put a coat on each one and then maybe another 1 or 2 coats, and then I think we should be good. Okay, we're going to be using a foam brush for this. And we're just going to put this little coat on here. This is white. It will obviously dry clear after. There's a couple little cracks in the wood, so that's nice. This will fill in those cracks, help seal it. I have to see what it's going to look like when it's dry, because it's white. I think it's going to come out really nice. I think the wife will be happy. Kind of smear it all over here, and then we'll smooth it out a little bit. And we'll make sure we get the edges. And just trying to keep everything going with the grain. Okay, I think that's good. So we're going to let that one dry. We'll do the other one, and then we'll come back and give it another coat. Alright guys, well here's the finished product. We got the tops all redone. It's very nice, no more peeling and cracking. You can see I put the black stripe back on like it was originally. So that came out good. These tops are nice and smooth. Got a like a satin sheen to them. I didn't want a real high gloss sheen to them. So came out very nice. I think the wife's going to be happy with them. Nice addition to the living room decor. Alright guys, so I think that's going to wrap up this project. So if you're thinking about grabbing an old table and refinishing it, it's really not too big a deal. Just takes a little bit of time. But if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, give a share, give a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you guys on the next one.